In exactly 1 week, I'll be hosting my annual signature event for the 6th year in a row. From the outside, it probably looks like a well-oiled machine, but the path from year 1 to year 6 was not a straight line. It involved lucky breaks, the danger of getting too comfortable, and one crisis that forced me to rethink everything. Because for the first 4 years, this entire event was supported by a major 5-figure title sponsor. It was a cushion. It allowed me to run this as a passion project while I was still working a full-time corporate job. Then, after year 4, that cushion disappeared. And today, just 10 months into my journey as a full-time solopreneur, I want to pull back the curtain on the real story of what happens when your biggest income stream vanishes overnight and how you start to rebuild stronger and smarter than before. When I started this event, I was still working a full-time corporate job, and having that big sponsor from day one was, in hindsight, both a blessing and a curse. It was a blessing because it gave me a safety net, and it meant I didn't have to stress about breaking even. So where did my focus go? Purely on the logistics. My brain was a constant checklist of vendors, name tags, catering orders, and the run of show. My business model, if you could even call it that, was just finding vendors to pay for tables. So it was tangible, it was straightforward, and I could manage it on evenings and weekends around my day job. But that safety net was also a curse because it created a massive blind spot for me. Because the finances felt safe, I wasn't being forced to think more deeply about the business itself. I wasn't asking the hard questions about long-term sustainability. And here's the most important part, the part that really blows my mind. When I think back to the women in the room during those early years, it's not that I didn't see them as prospective clients, it's that I didn't even know how to offer them more. My brain was completely full at that time. It was full with my 9 to 5, full with the event logistics, and full with the sheer exhaustion of juggling everything. I didn't have the capacity to build a relationship beyond that one day. I was stuck in what I call fast action mode just to get the event off the ground, and I never got into long-term value mode. The biggest opportunity of all, this room full of incredible women who needed what I knew, was right in front of me, but I was too overwhelmed to even see it yet. Maybe you've had that same feeling. Maybe that feels familiar to you. I don't know. Then came the pivot I never planned for. After year 4, the landscape completely changed. Corporate priorities shifted across the board, major marketing budgets were being reallocated, and that comfortable cushion I had, it was gone. I was left completely flat-footed. The model that I had relied on for 4 years was broken, and I had a choice: either cancel the event that I had poured my whole heart into, or figure out a new way to go forward. So I chose to figure it out. This crisis forced me to do the strategic work that I had put off for years. I had to look at my event not as a party, but as a business asset. So I had to ask myself, where is the real value here? The value was in the audience. And this led me to create the pay now versus pay later partnership model. It was born out of pure necessity. Pay Now became my new model for direct sponsorships, securing multiple smaller sponsors to replace the one big one. And then Pay Later became my way of creating value out of thin air by partnering with service-based businesses who could provide an incredible experience for my attendees in exchange for getting access to a room full of their ideal clients. This wasn't a clever growth hack I added on. This was the lifeboat I built while the ship was going down. It was the beginning of diversifying my events income so that I would never have to rely on one single source ever again. Which brings us to today, year 6. And I want to be 100% transparent with you. We are still on the journey to making this event consistently profitable. But for the first time, I have a clear multi-stream plan to get there. Now, the first 2 streams are ticket sales and the Pay Now, Pay Later partnerships. They create a stable base. But the third stream is the one that I'm building right now, and it's the key to real sustainable revenue. It's an income stream that I call the high ticket service offer, like standing up cohorts and offering myself as a fractional resource to small businesses, ministries, and nonprofits. After 10 months of being a full-time entrepreneur, I see it really clearly now. The event is the ultimate showcase of my expertise. It's where potential clients see me in player coach mode. It demonstrates my ability to strategize, lead, and create value. Those conversations that used to happen by chance are now a core part of my strategy. They lead to discovery calls, which lead to service packages. This journey from cushioned employee to flat footed entrepreneur to resilient builder is why I'm so passionate about helping other women in midlife build income diversity. The strategies I'm using now are the very things that I teach. The pay now versus pay later model is one of the most powerful tools in that toolbox. Because so many people have asked me how to apply it, I put the entire framework, including outreach templates and a prospecting list, into a practical step-by-step guide. It's called the Partnership Payday Playbook. And it's only $27, and it's designed to help you secure the first partner, sponsor, or client using the exact lessons that I learned in the trenches. Now, the link is the very first thing in the description below. So if you're ready to build more stability in your business, I highly recommend that you start there. You know, my story isn't unique. Many of us have felt that false sense of security, whether from a job or a client. But what I want you to hear is that the moment of crisis is often the beginning of real creativity. In 1 week, when I'm on that stage, I'll be there not just as a host, but as proof that you can rebuild, you can get smarter, and you can turn your hard-won experience into multiple streams of income. Thank you for letting me share the real story behind what it means to produce this signature event on an annual basis. It is not easy. It's not for everyone, but you can do it. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be talking about more of these things, more behind the scenes, more information about the 5 income streams for women our age. But right now, I've got to go plan my final week for this event, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.